Fever dog! Woo! Woo! Fever! Good dog. Ugly, but we found a way to win.
Here's a revenge stat that will give you chills. After getting out-rebounded and outplayed by the Atlanta Dream in a narrow 91-90 loss on May 20th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever flipped the script in dramatic fashion just 2 days later. In the rematch on May 22nd, they dominated the paint 46-20 and held Brittney Griner to just 5 points before she fouled out.
Hey Steph, this question is for you. I just wanted to talk about what you saw out of your team that was different from Tuesday. Obviously it's a quick turn, but how did you feel like your adjustments paid off on the court?
I felt like our defensive energy, physicality, disruptiveness was better. We made it more difficult for them, moving the ball around the perimeter. We executed better in our ball screen defense. Felt like we had each other's back a little bit more.
The same Fever team that had just lost at home came into Atlanta and completely took over. This type of fast adjustment and turnaround is exactly why the Fever are emerging as a real championship contender. And don't go anywhere, we'll also break down the heated exchange between Caitlin Clark and an Atlanta Dream player and the intense words that were caught on camera. What did this win reveal about Clark's leadership with a roster full of talent? Drop a fired up for the Fever in the comments to show your pride.
One thing this Indiana Fever team has shown us they will do this year, it's not quit on the game. The Indiana Fever down early, come back, take the lead. Down late, come back, take the lead. The only difference between tonight's outcome and Tuesday's outcome is a letter.
Just 48 hours earlier, the Fever left their home court feeling deflated. That 91-90 loss wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was a gut punch that exposed the team's core weaknesses.
Yes, this stinks. We want to win this game. But, I think this is great for our team. A little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. We have a chance to go there and play them, actually, so it's even better, I guess. We can, get a little redemption if we go down there and play well.
The Dream had dominated in every area, especially inside. They outmuscled Indiana, out-rebounded them, and made the Fever's interior defense look non-existent. Brittney Griner dropped 21 points, taking full advantage of Indiana's size mismatch. Ryan Howard added 20 more, dismantling the defense from all angles. Meanwhile, Atlanta got to the free throw line 32 times compared to Indiana's 26 missed free throws ultimately cost the Fever the game.
Got 32 free throws. It's a lot of free throws. Going to be difficult to win a lot of games when we foul people that much and put them at the line that much. It's tough. They made 25 out of 32. We still went to the line 26 times, missed 10. So that's the game really right there. It obviously doesn't come down to that, but it's just a little thing.
But what many missed about that loss was that the Fever weren't just defeated, they were taking notes. Head coach Stephanie White admitted post-game, "I don't feel like we match up well with them." But behind the scenes, she and her staff were already strategizing.
Of our fight, the toughness that we showed, our ability to stay together. Our bench was really engaged in every timeout and in every huddle. We were all engaged.
There was a different energy in the locker room. That loss didn't break them, it fueled them. Over the next 48 hours, they turned pain into preparation, determined to make Atlanta pay for embarrassing them on their home court.
Tuesday, we couldn't seal the deal. We lost it at the free throw line. Tonight, we sealed the deal. Tonight, we took the lead late in the fourth after being down 75-71 with 3 minutes left. We take the lead and we don't look back. The Indiana Fever leave the ATL with an 81-76 victory, and this game was pretty. Man, this game was pretty ugly.
And here's something that would have terrified Fever fans just months ago. Caitlin Clark went 0-for-5 from beyond the arc. She scored only 11 points on 4 of 11 shooting, her lowest scoring game and her first time without a made three-pointer since January 2022.
What a win for the Indiana Fever against the Atlanta Dream. Good teams win ugly. And that was what was most impressive to me about the Fever's performance against the Dream.
Most teams crumble when their star struggles, especially on the road. Clark also picked up 5 personal fouls, spending significant time on the bench. A team that leans too heavily on one player would have folded. But not this Fever squad.
But getting in foul trouble early, I think, messed up her rhythm, and she didn't really have her legs, because it certainly was one of the worst performances of Clark's career from a production standpoint offensively. First time in her career she didn't hit a 3. So nothing to write home about from Cece. But that's okay, right? Even when, that's happening, game's on the line, she's got the basketball. She's got the basketball, manipulates the defense, gets it to AB, who puts it away.
This is where the 2025 Fever showed they're a different beast. Natasha Howard stepped up, delivering a game-high 26 points on 12 of 17 shooting.
Shout out to Natasha Howard, I will say. You didn't have a good game last game. You bounced back today. If I'm the Atlanta Dream coach, I'm going into tonight with a game plan. Folks, make Natasha Howard beat us. Don't let Caitlin Clark beat us. Don't let Kelsey Mitchell beat us. Don't let Aaliyah Boston beat us. Make Natasha Howard beat us. And Natasha Howard, she took on that challenge and she came through. Let's just think back a year ago. Who's that going to be? Katie Lou? Nope. Erica Wheeler? Nope. Nalissa Smith, you make me.
Howard bounced back from a rough game and dominated the second half with 18 points, 13 of them in a huge third quarter. She also pulled down 7 boards and became the leader when her team needed it most.
At least go out and get somebody like Natasha Howard that when Caitlin Clark, Kelsey, and AB aren't hitting, when Caitlin Clark, Kelsey, and AB are getting hoed with fouls, there's somebody there that's competent offensively that can keep us in the game. And Natasha Howard, you did just that. 26 points, 7 rebounds. Way to go.
Sophie Cunningham returned from injury and made an instant impact, 9 points, 6 rebounds in just 20 minutes, and sparked an 11-0 run with her first 3 of the season. She even drew a clutch offensive foul. Lexi Hull chipped in 10 points off the bench with 4 assists, tying a career high. The Fever's bench became a weapon instead of a liability.
Him and Lexi Hull are the real deal. That's what it does look like. It looks like these two off the bench, you can name whoever you want. These two ladies off the bench are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA, hands down. Hands down, these two are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA off the bench. They bring the energy, they bring the heat, they're able to score, they play defense.
The Fever bench outscored Atlanta's by 16. It was a complete role reversal from the previous matchup where depth had been Atlanta's strength. Now, it was Indiana's advantage, and it was loud and clear, this team is built to win even when the star has an off night.
White, folks, we were up 3 points in the last minute. Stephanie White puts Sophie and Lexi and they say, press. In the last minute, Stephanie White says, Sophie, Lexi, press. Don't make it easy on them. Don't let them get into their offense. We gotta hassle them. We gotta haggle them. We gotta get on them. We need to force them to make decisions before they want to. And Sophie and Lexi did just that. Those two.
Clark's tough game revealed something deeper. This team is championship ready. Real contenders need depth, resilience, and stars who shine when the moment demands. The Fever showed they had all of that, and more.
This on display. Fighting through it. It ain't always gonna go your way. And then, like I said, some of the new players. I think Natasha Howard was excellent in this game. She was excellent in this game. And there were some, connections between her and Clark. Then there was Sophie Cunningham, who was also back for the first time, who's just an excellent all-around basketball player. And you could see it here. Clark with the get-ahead to Cunningham and the finish. I mean, Cece's just such a gifted.
With no traditional center to match Griner, Coach White emphasized using versatility and rotations to counter Atlanta's size. And it worked. Every time Griner got the ball, she was swarmed. Help came from odd angles. Indiana made her life miserable.
Damaris Dantas, 17 minutes. Yeah, 1 for 5. Stephanie White, again, to her credit. Did you see what she did today with Dantas? Did you see what she did tonight with Dantas? Brittney Griner, are you in? You're in? Cool. Dantas, get in there. Brittney Griner, you're out? Cool. Dantas, get out. Brittney Griner, you're coming back in? Cool. Dantas, get back in. Griner, you're out? Dantas, you're done here.
Coach White called it a collective effort. The Fever played physical on every touch, sacrificing fouls to break Griner's rhythm. The result? Indiana out-rebounded Atlanta 41-37 and held them to just 76 points. Griner couldn't get into a flow, frustrated by constant pressure and a lack of calls.
I felt like our depth came into play there, being able to go to our bench and bring a different defensive coverage and intensity level, and that allowed us to get out in transition. I mean, we're going to be at our best when we're in transition, and I felt like in that second quarter we were able to get out a little bit.
Then, with 3:38 left, the inevitable, Griner fouled out. She finished with just 5 points and 7 rebounds. For the second time this season, Indiana had neutralized her completely. Atlanta's interior offense fell apart. With Griner on the bench, the Fever took over and closed it out with confidence.
Brittney Griner tried to post up Damaris and failed to post up Damaris. She tried to move Damaris off the block on defense. She failed to move Damaris off the block on defense. Damaris Dantas isn't only a big body, she's a strong SOB. And Brittney Griner found that out firsthand.
But the moment everyone's talking about came when Caitlin Clark and Ryan Howard got into a face-to-face showdown. After a hard foul, words were exchanged and caught on camera.
Start with the one that's going to be shared everywhere.
Howard, the #1 overall pick in 2022, was physical all night guarding Clark. She tried to intimidate the younger star, testing her grit the way vets do. It's a rite of passage.
Howard was up in her grill all game, and there's the bump, there's the physical challenge there, and some words for Clark. But if you can see, Clark has some words back, and those words, if you lip read appropriately, or it seems like from the lip readers out there, were, "I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not scared."
But Clark didn't blink. She stared Howard down and said, "I'm not scared of you," before giving her a sarcastic thumbs up and walking off. The clip instantly went viral.
"I'm not scared of you." With that, and that's competing. That's good basketball. That's fine. Howard wanted the challenge. I loved it. I love them. You just can't let, people play Clark like they're bumping her at the line of scrimmage and not call a foul. You got to call those fouls.
That wasn't just trash talk, it was a message. Clark wasn't going to let anyone push her around, and that mindset elevated the whole team. The game became even more physical. The intensity spiked. Everyone felt it.
Overall, it was the response from the Fever that impressed me the most to come away with this win. I said the last game was an impressive loss because things didn't go right and they were almost there and they came back. And this is sort of the, same.
Clark's response lit a fire. Even veterans like Natasha Howard responded to her energy. Despite an off shooting night, Clark showed exactly the kind of leadership that makes champions. Her stats weren't gaudy, but her presence was everything.
It's huge, and again, our depth and our ability to play different lineups, our ability to lift one another up if we don't have it. I mean, I thought Damaris Dantas was huge for us when AB got in foul trouble, and it's easy to look at numbers, but what she brought in terms of her ability to move the ball, her defensive physicality was huge. Obviously what Lexi and Sophie bring for us, and even Sid, she hadn't played the whole game, and we throw her in there in some time and score situations. We have a team that we can go.
That altercation flipped the emotional momentum. The Fever suddenly played with more aggression, more confidence. Clark had proven she belonged, and her teammates followed her lead. The moment showed that she had the mental toughness and edge of a true franchise leader.
A lot about some days it's going to be your day, some day it's not, right? We have to choose the we over the me, and we have to stay ready, so we don't have to get ready. Every single person that impacted this game in a positive way, and I'm really proud of them.
This revenge win in Atlanta was more than just payback. It was a declaration that the Indiana Fever are no longer rebuilding, they're contenders. They won on the road. They dominated the paint. They shut down a star. And they did it all while their own star had an off night. That's championship-level basketball. Comment "Fired Up for the Fever" if you're proud of this win, like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.